How's it going, IO? Stick with me in this video because we're going to talk about Bruce Willis's heartbreaking diagnosis, Julia Fox dragging Kim Kardashian, and the fact that Rebel Wilson was forbidden to lose weight for 5 years. First up, Bruce Willis's family has just revealed that he's been diagnosed with frontotemporal dementia at 67 years old. His wife Emma Hemming Willis shared a photo of the actor on Instagram and said that his condition has worsened since the family first revealed his aphasia diagnosis last year. She wrote, "Bruce's condition has progressed, and now we have a more specific diagnosis, frontotemporal dementia, known as FTD. Unfortunately, challenges with communication are just one symptom of the disease that Bruce faces. While this is painful, it is a relief to finally have a clear diagnosis. Frontotemporal dementia is a term for a group of brain disorders that threatens the frontal and temporal lobes of the brain. The shrinking of these areas can cause speech issues, emotional problems, and changes in personality. Other symptoms can be things like loss of motor skills, problems walking, swallowing, or muscle spasms. Unfortunately, these symptoms tend to get worse over time, and there are no treatments for the disease. On average, people live 8 to 10 years after getting diagnosed, but some people live much longer." In the statement, his family says that they hope the media attention would raise awareness of Bruce's condition. They said, "We know in our hearts that if he could today, he would want to respond by bringing global attention and a connectedness with those who are also dealing with this debilitating disease, and how it impacts so many individuals and their families." The statement was signed by members of his family, including his wife Emma, with whom he has 2 daughters, and his former wife Demi Moore, with whom he has 3 daughters. The actor became a household name in the 80s and 90s after starring in blockbuster films like Die Hard, The Sixth Sense, Armageddon, and Pulp Fiction. He's also been nominated for 5 Golden Globes and won once, and also 3 Emmys where he won 2. During his 40 years of acting, his movies have grossed more than $5 billion around the world, but his last major film role was in 2019's Motherless Brooklyn and the M. Night Shyamalan movie Glass. So it's really heartbreaking that he's going to have to give up acting because his diagnosis is affecting his cognitive abilities. Now, celebrities have reacted to the news with messages of support. Maria Shriver wrote, "My heart goes out to Bruce Willis and his family, and also my gratitude for shining a much needed light on the disease. When people step forward, it helps all of us. When people get a diagnosis, it's extremely difficult, but also for most a relief to get a diagnosis." Aaron Paul, who starred in Breaking Bad, said, "Sending hugs to you and that beautiful family of yours. Your pops is such a damn legend." Queen Latifah wrote in a post on Instagram that said, "God bless you, my brother, we love you. All the best. Thank you and your family for all the entertainment." Bruce's ex-wife Demi Moore also took to Instagram to inform her followers about his condition. The actor's blended family has not always been on good terms with one another, especially in a world where divorce and separation often leads to a bitter separation of households. But in Bruce's case, both his ex-wife and his current wife have now put aside their differences in order to support him in the best way possible. Today, the 2 women once again came together to rally behind him, while they revealed that he has been dealt yet another medical blow. And now we need to talk about the fact that Julia Fox has been dragging Kim Kardashian. Literally, the actress closed out New York Fashion Week by lugging a life-sized black body bag down the streets of Manhattan. She was carrying a purse in the shape of a literal person. This creepy item stands 6 feet tall and weighs 3.5 pounds. It's topped with a platinum blonde wig for added realism, and even wears towering platform boots that are nearly identical to the ones that Julia was wearing. Now, if you're gonna make the comparison to Kim Kardashian, you wouldn't be the first one. A lot of people believe that this fashion statement is a way to not so subtly come after her. I mean, it's literally a body bag resembling Kim that she's been dragging around the city. Although the reality star is remembered mostly for her long dark hair, recently she's been keeping it platinum blonde, and of course it's always very long. But even if Julia wasn't trying to threaten Kim Kardashian, the whole concept of the bag is insane. In case you are wondering, the piece is by Toronto-based designer Mikhail Kale. As a part of his Spring-Summer 2023 collection, Kale actually said that Julia was a muse of his while making the collection, and that it was a dream come true to see her wearing his pieces. It's unclear if she needed an extra front row seat for her purse when she got to the actual fashion show, or if she simply put it on the floor. The corpse bag is completely different from the Hermes Birkin bag that she received from her ex Kanye West for her birthday. Ironically, she said that one was too scary to carry around while she was out, but it actually did save her life at one point in time. Fans were shocked when Julia revealed in a TikTok video that she was once attacked by someone with a machete, and the bag was the only thing between her and the weapon. In the clip, she shows us the Birkin bag and casually says, "So I love her, but she's been through a lot. It's a little hard to see there, but she was actually attacked by a machete. I'm not kidding. That actually happened to this bag and me. I don't even know how I effing managed to, I was holding onto this Birkin for my life." She then shows us the marks on the bag and says, "You can see the little bit from where the machete slipped and hit the side of the bag too." Despite the fact that viewers wanted her to go into more detail about what happened, she declined to share the story. In a follow-up, she said, "I ain't no snitch, and I'm not not gonna tell the world who did it, but I know who did it to me. I saw it. So I guess we'll never know who attacked her with a literal machete. The 33-year-old actress has come under fire recently when it came out that she supports the disgraced fashion designer Alexander Wang, who was accused of SA in 2020. She walked in his show last week at New York Fashion Week, and she quickly had to speak out on TikTok defending her decision to work with him. In response to a fan who questioned her association with him, she wrote, "To be frank, I love cancel culture, but we do need to leave room for rehabilitation and for those who put in the work and heal and learn from their mistakes." But it was this response that caused a firestorm on Twitter as fans started calling her out for her hypocrisy. Someone wrote, "Julia Fox is a weirdo because how are you so outspoken on women's rights, yet proudly walk at an Alexander Wang show, especially after you've been repeatedly called out for working with him before? Rocks for brains." Another user tweeted, "Julia Fox walking for Alexander Wang literally goes against everything she stands for, and it's annoying how she keeps supporting him constantly. And Julia Fox is really gross for continually working with Alexander Wang. Like there's no way she doesn't know." Someone else wrote, "What I hate most about Julia Fox's comments about Alexander Wang is using the rehabilitation excuse. Everyone knows the first step to rehab is admitting you have a problem. He has 11 claims against him and counting. Julia Fox is promoting Alexander Wang shamelessly." To give you some background, in 2020, Wang was accused by 11 men of touching them without consent, slipping them narcotics, and even pulling their underwear down in public. When the allegations came out, he adamantly denied them at the time and called them baseless and grotesquely false. But the 38-year-old ended up changing his stance and releasing another statement in 2021, promising to do better. He said that he spoke with the victims and that he regretted acting in the way that caused them pain. Quote, "While we disagree on some of the details of these personal interactions, I will set a better example and use my visibility and influence to encourage others to recognize harmful behaviors." After marking his initial comeback with an LA runway show in April of 2022, Wang's return to the New York fashion scene has been met with a questionable amount of industry backing. Even after being cancelled, he's maintained a celebrity client roster from Rihanna to Kylie Jenner. He's even outfitted A-listers for high-profile red carpets, like the 2023 Critics' Choice Awards. So yes, Julia Fox should be criticized for supporting him, but the bigger question is, why is the fashion world so willing to forgive and forget? Because when actors and comedians get cancelled for the exact same thing, a lot of them are never able to bounce back, and it pretty much marks the end of their career. So what is it about being a fashion designer that lets you slip through the cracks? Moving on, did you know that Rebel Wilson was forbidden to lose weight for 5 years? The Pitch Perfect actress opened up about her weight loss journey while she was on the Call Her Daddy podcast, and she revealed something really shocking. She claimed that she was not allowed to gain or lose more than 10 pounds according to her Pitch Perfect contract. She said, "I couldn't lose a massive amount of weight because it was in the contract for that movie. You can't lose, I think it's more than 10 pounds or gain more than 10 pounds. You have to kind of stay at a weight. It's in your contract." This is actually more disturbing when you realize that Rebel was in 3 Pitch Perfect movies from 2012 to 2017, and her character was literally called Fat Amy. The actress said that she had to wait until the movie franchise seemed like it was over before she began trying to lose weight. And this is all because of her contractual obligations to remain within a certain weight range for the films. But this completely went against what she wanted to do for her health. She said, "I was thinking for a while I'd like to get healthier. I was stereotyped into playing that fat funny friend, which is so hard because I love those roles. I love doing those roles, I love those characters. But then I did want to do more things, but I felt like being the bigger girl. You know, you're just more pigeonholed." That being said, she publicly credits the franchise for much of her success, and she said many times that she greatly enjoyed making the films. After wrapping up the 3rd movie in 2017, Rebel embarked on a health journey, which she started documenting online. In the years since, her physical appearance has changed drastically, which prompted her to speak out about how her life in the industry has been altered as a result. In a candid interview with the BBC, she opened up about the differences in how she's being treated now. She said, "Sometimes being bigger, people don't necessarily look twice at you. Now that I'm in good shape, people offer to carry my groceries to the car and hold doors open for you. And you think, is this what other people experience all the time?" Her physical transformation has also meant that she's now being considered for a lot more roles. She said, "Sometimes when you transform yourself physically, it can make people look at you in a slightly different way. There can be benefits to that, and people look at you and say, oh, she's different now. Maybe we should cast her in different projects." In the past, Rebel has expressed frustration with the media frenzy around the size of her body, and she said that it's sad how she got more attention for her weight loss than for her work. She said, "In 2019, I had like 4 movies come out, 2 which I produced and 1, Jojo Rabbit, which got nominated for an Academy Award for Best Picture. Yet I get more press the following year when I do nothing except lose weight. People are so obsessed with weight, but I get it." Which is completely true, considering that her health journey eventually became one of the most publicized transformations in Hollywood. So even though Rebel seems to be a lot happier now, she's also pointed out something that's really worth discussing. It makes sense to a certain extent that actors have to shape up for their movie roles, which might mean hitting the gym, time or losing a couple of pounds. But what about when your contract seriously gets in the way of your health and it prevents you from losing weight for years at a time? I can't imagine how frustrating that would be, and there's something about it that seems very unethical. So what do you think about her latest interview? Let me know in the comments below, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.